In this video, I'm going to teach you how to play 10 songs with 4 easy chords. Okay, let's play the first song. To play this song, you put your first finger on the second string on the first fret, your second finger, fourth string on the second fret, and you put your finger right on your third finger right under it, and it should sound like this. So you play that 4 times, and you play it 4 more times. So it should sound like this. Then the next chord is F. You put your first finger on the second string on the first fret, and then your second finger should go on the second fret on the third string, then your third finger goes on the third fret on the fourth string. And it goes like this. And you play F chord 4 times. And the last chord is E. So you put your first finger on the first fret on the third string, right here, and then you put your second finger on the second fret on the 5th string, and then your third finger goes right under it. It sounds like this. And you play that one 4 times. And that's it. All of that should sound like this. Also, if you put a capo on the first fret, it sounds better. Okay, song number 2. For this song, you need to put your finger on the first fret on the second string, and then your second finger on the 4th string. Your third finger goes right under it. You play this. And that's A minor. The next chord is E. You put your first finger on the second fret on the 3rd string, and then your second finger goes on the 5th string on the 2nd fret, and then goes right, your third finger goes right under it. The third chord is G. This is a new one. So you put your second finger on the 2nd fret on the 5th string, and then your third finger goes on the 3rd fret on the 6th string, and then your pinky goes on the 3rd fret on the 1st string. And you play all the strings like this. It seems hard, but it's easy. Okay, so you play A minor. You play A minor 4 times, and you play E 4 times. And you play G 4 times. And lastly, you play D. And D is your first finger goes on the 2nd fret on the 3rd string, and then your second finger goes on the 1st string, your third finger goes on the 2nd string on the 3rd fret. And then you play like this. And you play that 4 times. So all that should sound like this. Song number 3. there's 4 chords: A minor, D minor, F, and E. So first you play A minor, your first finger goes in the second string on the first fret, and your second finger goes right here, and then your third finger goes right under it. Okay, so you play that 1 time. And you play D minor, so D minor is first finger on first string, and then your second finger goes in the third string, and then your third finger goes right under it, but on the second string, and it goes like this. So we played this so far. And then you play F, so first finger on the first fret, and then your second finger goes right beneath it, but on the third string, and then your third finger goes right next to it, but on the next string up, so fourth string, and it goes like this. And then E is on your first finger, third string, and then your second finger goes in the fifth string on the second fret, and then your third finger goes in the second fret on the fourth string. Okay, so it goes like this. So all that just sound like this. So every chord you play like this, at the end of it, you stop it like this. And you play that a couple times, and then you go on to the next part. A minor, you play that 4 times. A minor 4 times, so like this. Then you do F. You play that 2 times, and then the next chord is E. You play that 2 times also. And that repeats. Okay, 4th song. E minor, so it's your second finger on the second fret, and then you put your third finger next to it, so it goes like this. That's E minor. And you play that 2 times. The next chord is D, so your first finger goes on the second fret on the third string, and then your second finger goes on the first string, and your third finger goes on the third fret on the second string, and it goes like this. You play that 2 times. So the next chord is G, so you put your second finger on the second fret on the 5th string, and then your third finger goes 6th string, and your pinky goes on the 3rd fret on the 1st string, and you play all the strings 2 times. The next chord is A minor, first finger, and then like that, and you play this 2 times also. And you just repeat that 1 more time, and then, so it goes like this. Okay, the next song goes like this. first finger goes in the first fret on the third string, just like this. Then your second finger goes in the second fret on the fifth string, and then your third finger goes right under it on the fourth string. And you play that 4 times, like this. Then you play D, like this. You play that 2 times. So your first finger goes on the third string, and then your second finger goes on the first string, and your third finger goes on the second string. And you play that 2 times. And then this next chord is A. So your first finger goes on the fourth string, and then your second finger goes right under it on the third, and then your third finger goes right under it on the second string. And you play all of them like this. And you play that 2 times. So this is how the whole song goes. Okay, this is the 6th song. So for this song, you're gonna need a capo on the first fret. So there's 4 chords in this song, and it is F, C, G, and A minor. So the first chord we are gonna do is F. So your first finger goes in the second fret on the second string, and then your second finger goes on the third string, and then your third finger goes on the fourth string. And you play that 2 times. And then the next chord is C. Do not remove the F chord, because all you have to do is take your second finger and move it up to the fourth string, and then your third finger to the fifth string. That's all you have to do, and you play that 2 times again. And then the next chord is G. And if I'm ever going too fast, just pause the video. So G, second finger goes on the third fret like this, and then your third finger goes right here on the sixth string, and then your pinky goes right here on the first string. And you play all the strings like this. You play that 2 times. And then A minor, like this, second string, and then your second finger, like that, and then your third finger goes right under it. And then you do F, like this, first finger on the second string, then your third finger on the third string, and then your third finger on the fourth string, and you play this. And then C, just move your 2 fingers up 1 string, and then G. Play it 4 times. So now I'm gonna play the song. This is the 7th song. Okay, so the chords I use in this song is A minor, C, F, and E minor. Okay, so the first chord is A minor. So your first finger goes on the first fret on the second string, and then your second finger goes on the fourth string on the second fret, and your third finger goes right under it and it goes like this. You play that 8 times, like this. And then you play C. So you can just leave your first finger on the second string and the first fret, and then you put your second finger on the 4th string, and then your third finger will go on the 5th string on the 3rd fret, and you play that 8 times also. Okay, now we play F. So you put your first finger on the 2nd string on the 1st fret, and then you put your second finger on the 3rd string, and then your 3rd finger on the 4th string, and you play that 8 times. Then you play E minor. So your second finger goes on the 5th string on the 2nd fret, and then your 3rd finger goes right under it, and you play that 4 times. And you play G, so you can leave your second finger there, and then your 3rd finger will go on the 6th string on the 3rd fret, and then your first finger will go on the 1st string on the 3rd fret, and you play that 4 times. And then you just go back to A minor, and you do everything over again. So I'll play it one more time. Okay, so this is the 8th song, and there's 4 chords in this song, and it is F, C, A minor, and G. Okay, so the first chord you want to play F, and that you play that 4 times. So your first finger goes in the 2nd string, then your second finger goes in the 3rd string, and then your 3rd finger goes in the 4th string, and you play that 4 times. Then the next chord you play is C. Your first finger goes on the 2nd string, right here, and then your second finger goes in the 4th string, and then your 3rd finger goes on the 5th string, and you play that 4 times too. Then play A minor, first finger on the 2nd string, your second finger on the 4th string, and then your 3rd finger on the 3rd string, and you play that 4 times. Play G, you can just put your second finger on the 5th string, your 3rd finger on the 6th string, and your first finger on the 1st string on the 3rd fret, and you play that 4 times. Okay, and then you just repeat that over like this. Okay, so the 9th song is 4 chords. The chords are F, C, A minor, and G. Okay, so I'm going to play it first. Okay, so the first chord is F. Then, so you put your first finger on the 2nd string, then your second finger on the 3rd string, and then your 3rd finger on the 4th string, and you play like this. You play it 2 times. Then you move on to C. You put your first finger on the 2nd string, then your second finger on the 4th string, and then your 3rd finger on the 5th string, and you play that 2 times. Then A minor, you leave your first finger on the 2nd string, then your second finger goes in the 4th string, and then your 3rd finger goes on the 3rd string, and you play that 2 times. Then you play G, second finger on the 5th string, and then your 3rd finger goes on the sixth string on the 3rd fret, and then your first finger, the 3rd fret, and the 1st string. And you play that 2 times. Okay, so it should go like this. This is the final song, number 10, and there's 4 chords, and it's C, A minor, E minor, and G. This song uses a capo, on the 1st fret, right here. So we're gonna play C first, first finger on the 2nd string, then your 2nd finger on the 4th string, and then your 3rd finger goes on the 5th string, and you play that 2 times. Then, I will be playing the full song at the end. Okay, so A minor, you leave your 1st finger there, and then you put your 2nd finger on the 4th string, and 3rd finger on the 3rd string, and you play that 2 times. Then E minor, go like this. Okay, E minor, so you put your 2nd finger on the 5th string on the 3rd fret, and then, 3rd finger goes on under it, and you play that 2 times. Okay, and then G, so just leave your 2nd finger there. 3rd finger goes on the 6th string on the 4th fret, and then your pinky goes on the 1st string on the 4th fret, and you play that 2 times. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe and comment down below what your favorite song was.